The Cubs had a 4-game series against the Pittsburgh Pirates, so we're going to look over all those games. We're going to look at what went right and what went wrong, and all of that is happening soon on this episode of Cubs 360. Cubs fans, this is Jack from Cubs 360. Thank you very much for tuning into episode 21 of the Cubs 360 podcast. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. So this is my series recap to the Pittsburgh Pirates series. The Cubs played 4 games, and just a spoiler alert, they took 3 out of the 4, but we're going to go over all of these games because there is a pretty common theme with them, and that's going to be my overall thought with it. So we're just going to hop right into game number 1. And to start off, Jameson Taillon pitching for the Cubs against his former team that drafted him, the Pittsburgh Pirates. So let's start right away. Cruz will strike out swinging. McCutchen will hit a base hit to left. Reynolds will fly out to center. And Horwitz will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the first with Heaney pitching for the Pirates, Happ will ground out to second. Tucker will fly out to center. And Suzuki lines out to second. In the top of the second now, Frazier will ground out to second. IKF will strike out looking. And Tommy Pham strike out swinging. In the bottom of the frame, PCA grounds out to second. Dansby Swanson strikes out looking, as well as Carson Kelly. In the top of the third, Sullivan struck out swinging. Triolo will line out to center, and Cruz got walked, and he got caught stealing second. And Taillon was pitching to McCutchen. In the bottom of the third, Bush will strike out swinging. Nico Horner will line out to right, and Shaw flew out to second. In the top of the fourth now, McCutchen will pop out to second. Reynolds struck out looking, and Horwitz struck out looking. In the bottom of the fourth, Happ struck out swinging. Kyle Tucker will hit a base at center. Suzuki pops out to second, and then PCA hits a home run to right center, which will score Tucker as well. So a 2-run shot for PCA to make it 2-0 Chicago in the bottom of the fourth. And then Dansby Swanson will hit a base hit to center, but then Kelly pops out to second. In the top of the fifth now, Frazier will fly out to left. IKF will line out to first. Tommy Pham flew out to center. In the bottom of the fifth now, Bush will pop out to short. Nico Horner will ground out to short as well. But then Matt Shaw struck out swinging. In the top of the sixth now, Sullivan flew out to center. Triolo got walked. Cruz will line out to center. And then McCutchen grounds out to third. In the bottom of the sixth now, Happ will foul out to the catcher. Tucker struck out looking. Suzuki hits a home run to left to make it 3-0 Chicago. And then PCA struck out looking. In the top of the seventh now, Taillon still pitching for the Cubs as Reynolds flew out to right. Horwitz will hit a double to short. Frazier will hit a base hit to left, which will score Horwitz to make it 3-1 Chicago. But then IKF will hit a base hit to left, and Frazier will go to second. And that is the end of the game for Jameson Taillon as Brad Keller will go in for the Cubs. Tommy Pham struck out looking. Sullivan got hit by the pitch, so the bases are loaded. Triolo will get walked, which will make it a 1-run game, 3-2. And then Cruz struck out swinging. In the bottom of the seventh now, Matson pitching for the Pirates. Swanson struck out looking. Kelly grounds it out to Matson, and Bush will get walked, but Nico Horner flies out to center. In the top of the eighth now, Palencia pitching for the Cubs. McCutchen will ground out to second. Reynolds grounds out to third. Horwitz struck out swinging. In the bottom of the eighth now, Shaw will fly out to second. Happ will ground out to second. And then Baruki will pitch for the Pirates, and Tucker struck out swinging. The last licks for the Pirates in the top of the ninth with Presley pitching for the Cubs. Frazier will ground out to first. IKF grounds out to second. And Tommy Pham grounds out to second to end the game there. The Chicago Cubs take the series opener against Pittsburgh by a final score of 3-2. The winning pitcher was none other than Jameson Taillon, who went 6 1/3 innings pitched, only gave up 2 earned runs, 4 hits, and had 7 strikeouts. The loss goes to Heaney, who went 6 innings pitched, gave up 3 earned runs and 4 hits, also with 7 strikeouts. And the save goes to Ryan Presley, his 5th of the season. So my 3 stars for this game, I just read Taillon's stats for you. He's my 3rd star for this game. And my top 2 stars are the guys that are really fueling the offense for the Cubs more than anybody this year. My 2nd star was Seiya Suzuki, who went 1 for 3 with a home run and an RBI. And PCA was my 1st star, who went 1 for 3 with a home run and 2 RBIs. So that is my overall thought for Game 1 of this series. I think it was an ugly win, especially when Chicago was up 3-0. But At the end of the day, they were only able to take advantage of what they could there. But at the end of the day, a win is still a win. And with that said, we will now head to game number 2. So in game number 2, to start off the game, Cade Horton pitching for the Cubs. Cruz will fly out to second. McCutchen grounds out to third. Reynolds will hit a double to left, and Horwitz will ground out to second. In the bottom of the first, Paul Skeens is on the bump for the Pittsburgh Pirates in this game. Happ will hit a base hit to right. Tucker will fly out to left, and Suzuki struck out looking, and then PCA struck out swinging. In the top of the second, Gonzalez will fly out to center. Frazier will ground out to third, and Hayes will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the second now, Swanson will ground out to short. Bush will strike out swinging, and Horner will ground out to short. In the top of the third, Davis will fly out to center. IKF grounds out to first, and Cruz will ground out to short. In the bottom of the third, Shaw will line out to first. McGuire will hit a base hit to right. Ian Happ will get walked. Kyle Tucker will fly out to right, and Suzuki flies out to second. In the top of the fourth now, McCutchen struck out swinging. Reynolds will fly out to left. Horwitz will reach on an infield single to Cade Horton. Gonzalez will get walked, so there's 2 runners on, and then Frazier will line out to center. In the bottom of the fourth now, PCA will ground it out to Skeens. Swanson will strike out swinging, and Bush will hit a double to left, and Nico Horner will ground out to short. In the top of the fifth now, Hayes will ground out to third. Davis struck out swinging. IKF will ground it out to short. In the bottom of the fifth now, Shaw will strike out swinging. McGuire flies out to center. Happ will get walked, and Tucker will hit a double to center, and Happ is thrown out at home to end the inning. In the top of the sixth, Cruz will hit a base hit to left, and he stole second. McCutchen will ground out to short. Cruz will go to third. Reynolds struck out swinging, and that is the end of the game for Cade Horton, as Thielbar will go in for the Cubs, and Horwitz grounds out to second. In the bottom of the sixth now, Ledzinski pitching for the Pirates, so Paul Skeens' game is over here. Suzuki will hit a base hit to left, and PCA will hit a base hit to right, so there's 2 runners on. Swanson will ground it into a double play. PCA is out at second, and obviously Swanson's out at first, but Suzuki will go to third, but then Bush flies out to left. In the top of the seventh now, Brazier pitching for the Cubs. Gonzalez will ground out to third. Frazier will hit a base hit to left. Hayes will strike out swinging, and Frazier got caught stealing second, and he's out as well. So in the bottom of the seventh now, Ledzinski still pitching for the Pirates. Horner will hit a base hit to left. Shaw will strike out swinging. McGuire flew out to center, and Happ will line out to right. In the top of the eighth, Keller pitching for the Cubs. Davis will hit a double to left. IKF hit a sac bunt to third, and Davis will go to third. Cruz will ground it to a fielder's choice to Keller, and Davis will score on the play to make it 1-0 Pittsburgh. The scoreless tie is broken in the top of the eighth. McCutchen will strike out swinging, and Reynolds grounds out to first. In the bottom of the eighth, Ferguson pitching for the Pirates. Tucker will get walked. Suzuki hits a base hit to left, and Tucker will go to second. PCA will ground it to a fielder's choice to second. Suzuki's out at second, and Tucker will go to third. Santana now pitching for the Pirates. PCA stole second, and Swanson will ground it to a fielder's choice to short. Tucker will score, and PCA is out at second, but the game is tied at 1 apiece. Mike Bush will ground out to second, and that's the end of the inning there. So we go to the top of the ninth. Palencia pitching for the Cubs. Horwitz will get walked, and Triolo will run for Horwitz. Gonzalez will ground it to a double play, and then Frazier struck out swinging. Bottom of the ninth now, Santana still pitching for the Pirates. Triolo will go to first. Horner will fly out to left. Shaw will ground out to short, and McGuire struck out swinging. In the top of the 10th, Pomeranz pitching for the Cubs. Hayes will reach on an infield single to third, and he stole second. Frazier will steal third. Davis will get walked, and IKF will hit a sac fly to left, which will score Frazier, and Hayes will go to third and make it 2-1 Pittsburgh, and then Cruz will ground it into a double play to end the frame. In the bottom of the 10th, last looks for the Cubs here, with Bednar pitching for the Pirates. Birdie ran for McGuire at second. Happ will ground out to third. Tucker will pop out to first, and Suzuki grounds out to second. 1-2-3 inning for the Pirates in the bottom of the 10th. The Cubs lose 2-1 in 10 innings. So the winning pitcher was Santana. The loss goes to Pomeranz, and Bednar with his 10th save of the season. So after 2 games, the series is split at 1 game apiece, and both games were both decided by 1 run. Obviously, Chicago winning the first game 3-2, and Pittsburgh winning the second game 2-1 in 10 innings. So with that, we will now head to game number 3. So in game 3, Boyd will be pitching for the Cubs. In the top of the first, Cruz struck out looking. Andrew McCutchen hits a home run to left center field to make it 1-0 Pirates. Reynolds will ground out to Boyd, and Gonzalez will ground out to short. In the bottom of the frame with Burrows pitching for the Pirates, Happ struck out swinging. Kyle Tucker reaches on an infield single to second. Suzuki struck out swinging, and PCA flies out to right. In the top of the second, with Boyd still pitching, obviously, Hayes will line out to right, Davis will pop out to first, and Triolo will fly out to right. In the bottom of the second now, Swanson will strike out swinging, Bush will line out to right, and Kelly struck out looking. In the top of the third, Pham will ground out to short, IKF will strike out swinging, and Cruz grounds out to third. In the bottom of the third, Nico Hoerner will hit a base hit to left, and he stole second. Shaw will ground out to first, and Hoerner will go to third, and Ian Happ's hit a sac fly to left, which will score Nico Hoerner to tie the game up at 1. Tucker will hit a base hit to right, and he goes to second on a wild pitch by Burrows. And then Suzuki will line out to right to end the inning. As we head to the fourth now, McCutchen struck out swinging, Reynolds will line out to center, Gonzalez will also fly out to center. In the bottom of the fourth now, PCA will hit a base hit to right, and he stole second. Swanson struck out swinging, Bush will ground out to second and send PCA to third, and then Kelly struck out looking to end the inning. In the top of the fifth now, Hayes will ground out to short, Davis will fly out to left, and Triolo flies out to center. And the bottom of the fifth now, Nico Hoerner will hit a base hit to left. Shaw will strike out swinging, Happ will foul out to the catcher, and Tucker will strike out swinging. In the top of the sixth now, Tommy Pham gets walked, and he gets picked off, and he got caught stealing second. IKF will ground out to short, and Cruz will pop out to third. In the bottom of the sixth now, Suzuki pops out to first, and Borucki will be pitching for the Pirates now, and PCA grounds out to third, but then Dansby Swanson will hit a home run to left center field to make it 2-1 Cubs. They take the lead, and their first lead of the game, and Mike Bush will fly out to right to end the inning. Presley's now pitching for the Cubs in the top of the seventh. McCutchen will hit a base hit to left, but then Reynolds will ground it into a double play. Gonzalez will then hit a base hit to left. Hayes will hit a base hit to center and send Gonzalez to second, so there's 2 runners on, but then Davis struck out looking to end the inning. Ashcraft pitching for the Pirates in the bottom of the seventh. Kelly will fly out to left. Hoerner will line out to center, and Shaw will line out to center. In the top of the eighth, with the Pomeranz pitching for the Cubs, Triolo will ground out to short. Tommy Pham gets walked. IKF will line out to second, and Cruz grounds out to first. In the bottom of the eighth, Ian Happ will ground out to second. Kyle Tucker will strike out swinging, and Suzuki struck out looking. In the top of the ninth, Daniel Palencia pitching for the Cubs, last licks for the Pirates. McCutchen pops out to short. Reynolds will strike out swinging. Gonzalez will reach on an infield single to third, and Hayes struck out swinging, and that is the game there. In the third and second to last game of the series, the Cubs win 2-1. The winning pitcher for this game is Matt Boyd, who went 6 innings pitched, only giving up 1 earned run and 1 hit. That was the Andrew McCutchen home run in the first inning, the second batter he faced at all. The loss goes to Borucki, who went 2/3 innings pitched, gave up a run and a hit. I do want to mention, too, I didn't mention this just a second ago, Matt Boyd also had 3 strikeouts. The save went to Palencia, his 6th of the year. My 3 stars for this game, my 3rd star went to Ian Happ, who had an RBI. Swanson is my 2nd star, who went 1 for 3 with a home run and an RBI. And Matt Boyd, I have to give him my 1st star. Like I said, 6 innings pitched, only giving up 1 earned run and a hit, and it was just that home run of McCutchen. An amazing work of business there by Matt Boyd, and he gets rewarded with a win as a result. So, again, Cubs take games 1 and 3, and they have a chance to win the series against the Pirates in game number 4. So in the 4th and final game of this series, Colin Ray will start for the Chicago Cubs. And to start off in the top of the first, Cruz will hit a base hit to right. Reynolds will line out to short. Gonzalez will hit a base hit to the left field, so there's 2 runners on. And then Horwitz will hit a base hit to right, which will score Cruz, and Gonzalez will go to third to make it 1-0 Pittsburgh right off the bat. But then Canario will ground it out to third. Gonzalez will score, and Horwitz will go to second, so it's 2-0 Pirates. And then Frazier will fly out to center to end the inning. In the bottom of the first, Mitch Keller pitching for the Pirates, and that's interesting enough because Mitch Keller's name has been floating around in a bunch of trade rumors with the Cubs, so you're potentially looking at a future Cub going against the Cubs right now. But anyways, let's get to this game in which Keller's pitching for the Pirates against the Cubs. In the bottom of the first, Ian Happ gets walked, and he stole second. PCA grounds out to second, and Happ will go to third. Suzuki grounds out to second, but it'll score Happ to make it 2-1. Bush will hit a ground rule double, and Swanson will hit a base hit to right, which will score Bush to tie the game at 2 runs apiece. And then Nico Hoerner will ground out to second. In the top of the second now, Hayes will foul out to first, Sullivan will strike out swinging, and IKF pops out to second. In the bottom of the second inning now, Turner will pop out to third, McGuire will get walked, and Birdie grounds out to second, and McGuire will go to second, and Happ will strike out looking. In the third inning now, Cruz will fly out to left, Reynolds will fly out to left as well, and Gonzalez will line out to left. In the bottom of the third now, PCA will ground out to short, Suzuki flies out to right, Mike Bush reaches down an infield single to second, and Swanson grounds into a fielder's choice to third, and Bush will be out at second. So we head to the fourth inning now. Horwitz will ground out to first. Canario will get walked. Frazier strikes out swinging, and Hayes grounds into a fielder's choice to short. Canario is out at second. In the bottom of the fourth now, Horner will ground out to third. Turner will fly out to right, and McGuire struck out swinging. 1-2-3 inning for the Pirates. In the top of the fifth now, Sullivan will fly out to right. IKF struck out swinging, and Cruz lines out to center. In the bottom of the fifth now, Birdie struck out swinging. Happ flies out to left, and PCA lines out to second. In the top of the sixth now, with Colin Ray still pitching for the Cubs, Reynolds strikes out swinging. Gonzalez grounds out to second. Horwitz will hit a base to center, and Canario grounds out to Colin Ray. In the bottom of the sixth now, Suzuki will fly out to center. Mike Bush will fly out to left, and Swanson will fly out to right. In the top of the seventh now, Thielbar will pitch for the Cubs, so Colin Ray's game is over after 6 innings. Frazier will ground out to first. Hayes will ground out to third. And Davis will pinch hit for Sullivan, and he gets walked, and then IKF pops out to second. In the bottom of the seventh, Mattson will be pitching for the Pirates, so Mitch Keller's game is also over after 6 innings for the Pirates, but Davis will catch for the Pirates as well. To start off the inning, Nico Horner will foul out to first. Turner will pop out to second. McGuire will fly out to left. In the top of the eighth now, Cabrera pitching for the Cubs. Cruz will get walked. Reynolds will line out to center, and Gonzalez will ground it into a double play. In the bottom of the eighth now, Birdie will line out to short, Happ will fly out to right, and PCA flies out to center. In the top of the ninth now, with Ryan Presley pitching for the Cubs, Horwitz struck out swinging, Canario struck out swinging as well, and Frazier will fly out to left. In the bottom of the ninth now, Santana pitching for the Pirates, Suzuki flies out to center, Bush will ground out to second, Swanson will hit a base hit to center, Nico Horner will hit a double to right, Swanson will go to third, and Turner will ground out to third, and the Cubs couldn't take advantage of the runner in scoring position, and we will now head to extra innings. Flexen will be pitching for the Cubs in the 10th inning, and Hayes will ground out to short. Davis will line out to right. IKF will line out to second. As we head to the bottom of the 10th now with Bednar pitching for the Pirates, Brujan will pinch run for Turner at second, and Kyle Tucker will pinch hit for Reese McGuire. And Tucker will get intentionally walked, and he stole second, and Brujan stole third, so now you have a couple runners in scoring position. John Birdie struck out swinging, but Ian Happ will hit a base hit to right, which will score Brujan to win the game for the Cubs on a walk-off base hit by Ian Happ. The Cubs win 3-2, and they take 3 out of 4 from this series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the winning pitcher obviously goes to Flexen, who's 4-0 on the season, and Bednar with the loss going 1-5. So not much to be said here. Another low-scoring affair, as it was for the entirety of this series. I'm glad the Cubs took 3 out of 4. They found ways to win in these type of games. But I do want to say before anything that it was a very ugly series win, and I think they could have done a lot better overall, especially offensively in that series. But you can only take what you can get, so I'll take the wins, to be quite honest with you. Let's get to the 3 stars of this game. My third star was Dansby Swanson, who went 2 for 4 with an RBI. My second star was Colin Ray, who went 6 innings pitched, gave up 2 earned runs and 4 hits. And my first star was Ian Happ, who had the walk-off RBI, who went 1 for 4. So pretty straightforward with that one. Like I said, the Cubs win this game 3-2 in 10 innings, so they get their get back to the Pirates, who won their only game of the series in extra innings as well. So there you go for the Cubs. 3 out of 4, like I said, of this series won, and that's it. So this is my series recap for the Pirates series. If you did not check out the Phillies series recap, I'd recommend doing that as well. And the series recap marathon will continue tomorrow with the Brewers and Mariners series recap. So be on the lookout for those. Comment down below your thoughts on this series recap. If you're interested in the content, feel free to like and subscribe. Like I said, follow us on Twitter, Cubs360X. And that's all I got to say here. So this is Jack from Cubs360. And as always, go Cubs go.